Welcome to the Noona Business Podcast, episode 21, Ask Us Anything, with your hosts, Becca and Megan. Well, the podcast is 21 now, which means we're legal to drink, so tonight we do. Cheers to you, our listeners. Megan starts by apologizing to V. We play Would You Rather and want you to weigh in with your opinions, and we answer all of the questions our listeners have sent in about K-pop, K-dramas, and ourselves. And, as requested, we rank the sexiest Subway sandwiches and assign each one to a member of BTS. And big news, Noona Business now has a website. Check out noonayabusiness.com for more info, to see our social media feeds, and to get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and inside looks at each of our podcasts. That's what you're in for today on Noona Business.
Into my heart, you send me so sky high when your loving starts. Jitterbug into my brain.
Yeah.
Let the bang, bang, bang till my feet do the same.
All right.
Something's bothering you, something ain't. Are you recording?
Yes.
Oh.
Surprise!
Ow! I just pulled a muscle laughing that I was singing Wham to you. Before you go, don't leave me hanging.
We're singing it really
like
well.
A yo-yo. Love George Michael. Well, I don't know how to transition from that.
So, welcome to Noona Business.
Hi. It's me, Megan. It's me, Mario.
I was on mute again.
You love that mute button.
All right. Again,
we're doing
Megan,
it. Hey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We are 21 today.
It's finally
Happy
here.
21st birthday to Noona Business.
This is actually more fun than my actual 21st birthday.
We'll see how the night goes, but it's looking that way for me as well.
My one beer is going to be meaningful.
It's going to be great. So we are actually podcasting outdoors today
It's beautiful, people.
from my favorite neighborhood pub,
Yeah.
Public House.
Public house.
If you're ever in the Quad Cities, check them out. They're amazing. It's beautiful here, and we have the entire patio to ourselves.
And we asked, Becca asked the bartender, like, hey, is it cool if we do this? And she literally said, like, oh, yeah, people do that all the time because we live in a world where everyone has their own podcast.
I think it's the coolest. So, welcome. And to all of our listeners, go grab yourself a drink if you're of age.
If you're of age,
and
celebrate
join us today because we have a lot to celebrate, and we're really excited that, first off, that we've met you all. I can't tell you how much joy it brings me. I don't want to get emotional because I don't do that, but it brings me so much joy every time we get an email or a comment or anything because you guys know everything.
Yeah.
You ask the greatest questions. You have the most insightful emails ever. It's not like fan accounts where people get on to say something negative and it's you can just tell you're not educated. You guys are so
what you're
deep
talking
into
about.
this world. It's amazing.
It's funny because Becca just said a lot of negativity on some fan accounts. I honestly, before we started this, kind of tried to prepare myself mentally because I take everything super personally. I was preparing myself mentally for people to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. You guys are stupid. We haven't had any really terrible anything like that. People have been really nice to us.
So thank you. I'm sure that's coming, but
I mean, when we're super famous, that just comes with being famous, right?
So if you guys hear background noise, there is like a little music playing. So hopefully it's not. We tried to minimize it.
Yeah.
And then also we're kind of sitting by a busy road.
Yeah.
So you may occasionally hear a motorcycle go by.
It's
but
also a little windy, but that's
Yeah.
nature, and that's good for all of us.
we're getting some fresh air tonight. It's good
Yeah.
for all of us indeed. Let's dig in.
I'm ready.
We have a lot to do. Megan, we already did our cheers. Happy birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Let's do our reassess. You said you have one.
I have a
don't,
reassess.
and I'm wondering if I'll have one after I hear yours.
No, this has been weighing on me for the last few days.
Shoot.
So, a few podcasts ago, we were talking about just random things that were on our minds.
Our 10 random topics.
Yes. And I mentioned that the outbreak of mullets in K-pop, I just couldn't quite comprehend it as a trend. Okay, fast forward to this week. BTS was at a fan sign, and apparently they were talking about V's hair, and he made a comment that he was self-conscious about it because a lot of fans had written him letters telling him to cut his hair because they didn't like his mullet.
Aww.
I want to be very clear. I in no way ever suggested V should cut his hair. I think he can rock any look, and I think, like we've said before, they're humans with free will. They can do whatever they want. But the thing I feel sorry about is I made an offhanded comment that, well, he doesn't care what I say anyway. That's not true, because I do think he and a lot of idols care a lot about what the fans like and don't like, and we know BTS does, because they'll like literally do whatever fans tell them.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was an unfair comment for me to make, and I want to apologize for it, because they do care. And I had no problem with his haircut. He's a wonderful, handsome angel no matter what. As a trend, my commentary was, as a trend, it baffles me. But I support any idol, any actor doing whatever they want if it makes them happy. As long as it's not illegal and they're not hurting anyone.
I never once took your comment to be mean-spirited at all. And again, we've gotten no listener emails about how you were mean about this.
Every time I see that somebody on Instagram be like, who would say this? Who would do this? I'm like, oh God, it was me. They know I did it, but I really didn't.
But here's what, so when you said you had to reassess, and then you mentioned it was about V, I assumed it was about his haircut. But when you just said your actual reassess was so kind. You just said you are more or less apologizing for thinking that he doesn't care about what you have to say.
Yes, that's Megan, exactly it.
God, you just the heavens have opened up and been like sealing your fate into heaven forever. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said.
It's just that I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I have legitimately felt bad about this for 2 days since he brought it up. So, V, if you're listening,
hi.
I support any choice you make. I think you look great. I think you are a wonderful free spirit. Don't listen to haters.
That was very kind of you.
I have to apologize because, as we've mentioned, we're the same personality type. So I bet he takes everything really personally, because I do. There's something in my eyelash.
It's like a little fuzzy from a tree.
I can see it.
It's gone. You got it.
Oh, good. My punishment for being mean to V. Okay, so that was my Let's Reassess. In my head, I've been planning on making that a lot more eloquent and heartfelt, and I feel like I just kind of
I think it came out that way.
But like,
God, nothing I'm going to say today is going to beat that.
I just really do feel bad, because I think he put so much good and positivity into the world, and he's such a good, positive person, as are all those idols that I mentioned had mullets, and they're still good, wonderful people, whether I like their haircut or not. So,
well, speaking of haircuts, so today's theme for our podcast is Ask Us Anything, because we're 21. Mm-hmm. So it's time to dig into those deep adult topics.
Yeah.
We're just gonna lay it all out there. We did get quite a few listener questions, so we're gonna answer them. First, we're gonna play a quick game, though.
Ooh, which one?
Are you ready? It's the Would You Rather.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. So speaking of haircuts,
really quick, Becca's so good at Would You Rathers. Mine are. I thought of 4 for Becca, and they're so bad. I am sorry in advance.
I can't wait to hear them. So I'm just going to... This was originally question number 3 for me. I'm going to give it to you first because it's a good transition from the haircut talk.
Yeah.
So, Megan, would you rather have Gujunpu's hair forever or only be able to wear Kim Tan's ugly sweaters?
Oh, Kim Tan sweaters. Here's the thing about Kim Tan sweaters. Not gonna tell you, I wouldn't actually wear some of those in real life anyway.
Really?
There's that parrot one. I think Greg, one time I asked him to rank them.
Yes.
And he hated that one the most. I love the parrot one. I would totally wear the parrot one. If you're not familiar with this sweater from Ayers, it's like a black sweatshirt with a screen printed parrot on it. I love it. I would totally wear it.
So we should say, I'm sure people know, but Gujunpu from Boys Over Flowers had the perm. So the question was, would you rather have that perm forever?
No, because I couldn't pull that off.
Or do the Kim Tan from Ayers, who is historically known to have the ugliest sweaters in the history of Kdramas.
I feel like people online call him the heir of ugly sweaters. I feel like that's what an online
thing.
That's
an appropriate name for that show. All right, you got one for me? Are we just going to go back and forth?
Yes. Okay, so it's a BTS one.
Let's do it.
Have you been paying attention to some of their street fashion lately?
I've been trying to.
Looks?
Am I going to feel stupid now?
No, you're not. I just want to... Okay, so to understand this, you might just need like a reference.
All right.
So I said, would you rather be styled by J-Hope for a day? Because, as you know, he has a very unique sense of style.
Yes, he does.
love how J-Hope dresses.
He does.
It's like very him.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you have to be kind of a confident person to dress like that. And
to carry it.
Confident in your fashion sense.
Right.
Or be styled by Jungkook forever. Because I like to think that Jungkook literally goes to a closet of free Puma merch every day and just pulls out a sweatshirt.
Here's the thing. My style is already very similar to Jungkook because I wear a lot of dark colors. Tonight I'm wearing dark gray
Dark colors.
on top of black athletic pants. So, you know what? I'm gonna say J-Hope.
I feel like
if
you
it's
could
just for a day,
totally pull off a
I'm gonna do the
J-Hope
J-Hope thing. I want to be a ball of human sunshine everywhere I go for one day.
I think it would suit you. That's
Let's do
again
it.
nothing against the way either one of them dresses. I love how both of them dress.
It's
I just again really like
an
the idea that
interesting
Jungkook
question.
just gets like free Puma merchandise and is like, this is what I wear now.
All right, now it's my turn to quiz you.
Okay.
Megan, have you paid attention to our Twitter today?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I voted.
Oh, darn it. Okay, that was my next would you rather. Would you rather sit front row at a BTS concert or have backstage passes to a Winner concert?
I think that you should all know my answer is I would rather sit front row at BTS because we know what happens when I become face to face with anyone famous.
You shut down.
I have a nervous breakdown in front of them, and I don't want to do that to Winner.
You know what's funny is I instantly thought Winner, absolutely. I would rather meet them, be backstage,
Nope.
see what's going on, see the hustle and bustle.
I don't have the heart for it.
And when I put it on Twitter today, I thought for sure that instantly it would just go straight to everybody would rather be front row at BTS. Majority of the people so far have said backstage at
I
Winner.
was really surprised too, actually.
It made me really proud.
That's because I'm the only person that's like, hey, you want to meet your idols? No. I want to stay at least 50 feet away from them at all times. Like there's a restraining order, but there's not.
So Megan, one of my favorite texts from you ever is when we were talking about what would happen if you ever met Top. You
We
basically
reference
said
this all the time.
you would shut down, get so sick to your stomach that you would like almost vomit on his shoes, and some handler would be like, get her away, she's upsetting Top.
No, I think I said I would say that. I'd be like, take her away, she's upsetting. Before a handler could remove me, I'd remove
You're the
myself.
only person I know who doesn't want to meet their idol.
I don't. I feel like I can't think of any scenario where I would be cool. I can't even think about it. I'm shutting down and I can't even think about it. Yeah.
All right, shoot me your next one. You got another one?
Yes. Okay. This is a K-drama themed one.
All right.
Would you rather find out you're the illegitimate daughter of a corrupt conglomerate who have ruined your life, or find out your birth mom killed your love interest's birth mom?
Oh, no. Ugh.
It's not a good one. Actually, mine are all kind of depressing.
I think I would rather find out that my father was a corrupt conglomerate that ruined my life.
There's always a way to fight back from that one.
Yeah.
But your mom killing his mom.
Here's the thing. As a Jimin, I would internalize that, and I would
Forever.
never, even if my love interest would forgive me for that one, I would never forgive myself.
You couldn't.
It would be easier to forgive.
But that
my
would be the
father.
whole plot of the movie, would be you trying to forgive yourself.
And it would end
Or
poorly.
of the K-drama.
It would end poorly.
It would be a K-drama you would like.
It would be me curled up in a ball sobbing for days, and my love interest getting married to somebody else. Again, a K-drama I would like.
That sounds like something you'd watch.
All right. Speaking of meeting your idol, Megan, would you rather find out Top was your new next door neighbor, or be randomly assigned to sit next to Jungkook on an airplane? Some car just bottomed out coming into the parking lot.
I was already
I
really
think Megan just
shaken up,
jumped out
and
of
now
her
I just
skin.
almost had a heart attack. Oh God. I guess. Okay, so I'm waffling because I feel like in the long
Let me
game-
preface.
Yeah.
This would be a long international flight. Think like 18 hours on a plane.
Would Top and I ever cross paths as neighbors?
I mean, he's your neighbor, so probably.
I feel like that one because it'd be easier to get out of.
Of course it would. How
It
would
would-
you get out of an airplane?
I always have to go to the bathroom on airplanes, and I get really stressed out about it.
Oh God, can you imagine?
So I'd have to be like,
having to
"Excuse me."
crawl over Jungkook's legs.
Becca, stop. I don't want to think about this. Also, how weird would it be? Because, like, the last airplane I was on, I just listened to Love Yourself Tear the whole time. So it's like, oh, hey, I'm listening to your band.
I'm listening to you.
Not trying to be obvious at all. That sounds like my worst nightmare. So I'm going to go with Top being my neighbor.
Can you imagine also the things Top would come to your house and knock on your door and ask to borrow?
I'm also going to make a bold statement here. I think given enough time and appropriate interaction, Top and I would actually probably get along great.
I think you'd be great neighbors.
Because I feel like he's a lovable weirdo, and that's the kind of person I attract.
Right.
I feel like Jungkook and I, as much as I love him,
what would it, like, be in his yard?
It would be like priceless works of art.
Man.
And like a cat colony, a feral cat colony.
Man, if Top moved in next door to you, I would never leave your house.
Yeah, you'd be my new roommate. Oh my God.
I would bring my kids over all the time and be like, hey, hit your ball into the next door neighbor's yard.
Also, Top loves kids. So he'd probably be like really good with them. Well, he loves his nephew.
Good answer.
I feel like that's actually you've literally given me my greatest scenario because, again, over time, in this context, where we're meeting as neighbors and not as like a fan and an idol, I could make it happen. I could do it. You put me in an enclosed space with Jungkook and it's over. I'm just going to melt.
Especially if you can't text me.
Oh
You'd be like,
God.
what do I do?
Oh, God. Oh, it would be awful. I can't. That's my worst nightmare.
All right. You got another one for me?
Yes. Okay. This doesn't even make sense. This is such an easy one. Would you rather be locked on the top of the Namsan Tower with Lee Min-ho in January?
All right.
Or stuck in a refrigerated truck with Gong Yoo?
Oh, why is this easy?
Because you're going to die in the truck.
Yeah,
but you're going to die with Gong Yoo.
Death by Gong Yoo would be...
That's the reason that I think it evens it out, is because I give you Gong Yoo.
These both sound like fanfics, which we are going to get into
we are going to talk about. We're nervous about it, guys, but we're going to do it.
Oh, man. I would think I would say the refrigerated truck.
I mean, at least you die happy.
I was going to say, I don't want to get a cold and have to leave Lee Min-ho, but I could definitely see myself, dying staring at Gong Yoo.
We all know that Lee Min-ho is going to get a cold first because of Boys Over Flowers.
I don't want to have to take care of him, so yeah, that's mine.
Oh, see, I thought that would be easier because death is one.
Not for Becca.
Nope, that's why I put Gong Yoo in there. I thought it would mix things up.
All right, last one for you.
Okay.
Would you rather see ghosts at all times, but get to date Soji Sub, or fall deeply in love with Kim Soo Hyun, but then find out he's an alien?
Oh, God.
So basically, would you rather be the girl from Master Sun, or a girl in My Love from Another Star? You can't be the actress Cho Sung-yi. Can't be her.
Yeah, and I love her.
You'd be yourself
in that scenario,
but you would find out that he's an alien.
Huh. This is interesting.
Because My Love from Another Star doesn't necessarily have the happiest ending.
It doesn't.
It's very uncertain.
So I've heard.
And it's beautiful.
I guess I'm leaning toward that one only because ghosts. But I also, and I feel like I'm jinxing myself saying this, the idea of seeing ghosts is kind of exciting. Now, if you said I could see ghosts all the time and I got to date Ok Taekyun, then
that was actually going to be my question.
I might pick that.
One, but I
love Taekyun. Yeah. And I feel like he'd protect me really well. Not that Soji Sub wouldn't, but that character's a little more like, oh man, I'm gonna go. I feel not confident about picking the alien one, but I don't feel confident about that. But I'm gonna pick it.
That's a good choice.
I feel like I'm kind of losing, kind of winning.
And I'm not making fun of you.
No,
you pick the younger guy.
Yeah, that does sound like me.
Which is you. I mean, I'm not making fun of you.
No. I own it.
Whereas
girl.
you gave me Lee Min-ho and Gong Yoo, and I'm like, I'm taking the older guy because it's Gong Yoo.
Hey, we have the heart wants what it wants.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
The heart wants what
All
it
right,
wants.
last one.
I don't know why this is the question. It's about food. I was probably hungry.
All right, let's do it.
So, would you rather get to eat 3 meals a day, but it's all from convenience stores? So, like those triangle rice seaweed things, ramen.
Okay.
Or you get 1 full meal a day or a week. You get 1 full meal a week, but it's like a huge traditional Korean meal prepared by the hot chef from Temperature of Love.
Oh. Guys, I'm an eater. I gotta go 3 meals a day. I don't care if it's from a convenience store. No shame.
Yeah, I would pick that too.
I'm also financially responsible, and I feel like, oh man, I
Save
save a lot of money.
so much money, yeah. Your sodium intake would be bonkers, though.
Yeah,
like I would be really worried about how much sodium you were eating.
Well,
but I mean, we're Americans. We're already eating all kinds of sodium, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That was
good
fun.
Questions.
Yours were great.
Thank you, Megan. I feel like I've learned a little bit more about you.
Oh, this is what's so magical about this experience. We're just always learning new things about each other.
So now we're gonna learn new things about our listeners because we had a lot of questions come in. Are you ready?
I'm kind of surprised we did.
Here we go. First question. This was emailed to us, I believe. She wanted to know, I have a question about Korean culture that has always bothered me. Do people really get hit and humiliated by their bosses? Is that something that happens in Korea, or is it just a drama exaggeration? So, to find out, I contacted my friend who is partially Korean. What do you say? Half Korean, part Korean, Korean American. Yeah, that's where we go. She's Korean American. This is what she said. She said, I believe it's more of a drama thing. However, that being said, I can see super rich and powerful families treating others like dirt very easily, whether it's their employees, neighbors, or lower class acquaintances.
Interesting.
So, again, I don't live in Korea, but my friend who was born there, raised there, and has since moved to America, that's what she feels the correct answer is to that question.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I had never thought about it because I feel like I don't know why, I just like let that be a thing that happened and I never questioned. And then after she asked the question, I was trying to ask myself, is there an equivalent of something that happens in American shows where I'm like, yeah, oh God.
I think it's pretty much gone. There's a bumblebee that will not leave Megan alone. Oh, he's way gone
because I'm so sweet. And I refuse to kill bugs, even though they scare me, because who am I to choose who lives or dies? But anyway, oh God, is he good?
I'm just gonna let him fly. It's like we don't bother him. He's not gonna sting us.
You're right. I'm just gonna pretend like it's not happening.
Just let him. He wants our beer. He's jealous.
Girl, same.
All right.
So the only thing I could think of was in like shows in New York where that girls get a job right out of college at a big magazine or whatever, and their bosses have them doing like all their work for them. I feel like that's pretty exaggerated, where it's like you have to come at every beck and call. That's why we have HR.
Right.
I just feel like, and I don't know, I've never had a job like that.
You know what's funny? So I don't want to give too much away because we're going to play two truths and a lie later.
Yeah, you have had experience.
I have had experience with celebrities before. And the very first day, they asked me to go get coffee. And I remember thinking, is this a drama? Like, I don't remember signing up for this.
Yeah. Did you do it?
I did. I had to. I felt like I was going to get let go if I didn't. So, yeah.
I used to volunteer to get coffee at all my jobs because it meant I could leave for a minute.
Oh. See, I never volunteered. I was told to go get very specific orders of coffee. So
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just points to like the reality of all those sorts of jobs. People with enough power and clout can kind of get away with a lot.
Get away with anything. Well, if you look at our, we don't want to get into it, politics in general, there are a lot of, the Me Too movement has brought a lot forward with things that
we're seeing
people
a shift
in power
dynamics
have been getting away with for a long time.
Which is baffling.
Yeah, it really is. So there you go. I hope that answered your question.
So basically, like, no, that's not realistic, but it's also not impossible.
She thought it was more exaggerated for dramas, but she does think that it probably does happen. Not to the extent of, like, just your direct supervisor would smack you if you did something wrong at work. Well, but maybe their manager, maybe? That's kind of how she described it.
I gotcha. It's a really interesting question. Like I said, I feel like it's one of those things that I just never questioned. Yeah. I just was like, it's a show. I don't know.
It's a show. It happens.
Yeah. Good, really good question.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. So, all right, we're going to take one quick break. For personal questions.
I can't believe anyone wanted to know anything about us.
Well, we got 3 personal questions about each of us.
Okay.
So, question number 1, we aren't even going to draw. This question was for both of us. Somebody asked, so what do you guys actually do for a living?
Not much.
So, Megan, why don't you go first?
I am a television news producer. So basically I work at a TV station and I help write and edit video and do kind of logistical stuff for newscasts. So it's a regional news station. It's not like the Today Show or anything, but it's a really interesting job.
It's a top 100 market. I think it's a pretty important job.
It's
number one station in the market.
We work really hard and yeah.
Megan was in charge for the top rated newscast for a while. Isn't the 10 always
and then
the most popular?
Yeah. It's an important show. Basically, growing up, I wanted to be Mary Tyler Moore, and then when I saw the option, I was like, I'm gonna make it after all, and I grabbed it. So I kind of accidentally got into it, but that's what I do.
So mine is more complicated.
What doesn't Becca do?
I know. I worked for a health company for 11 years, a very long time, especially because I'm only 35. So it was right out of college. I pretty much got this job. And they actually did a reorg last November and laid off my whole department.
It was awful.
I've kind of had this great opportunity for the last few months to dig into my passions. I've always had side jobs and freelance work. I'm a graphic designer. I've worked with companies as small as startups all the way up to the Fortune 500 company.
I feel like Becca always has some project she's working on with someone else that I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that.
I'm very fortunate. I'm a
jack of all trades.
I'm a go-getter.
Yeah,
so really I always have something going on. So, but yeah, I'm actively interviewing for jobs right now, and I've gotten a couple of, I think, good offers coming in. So I'll let you know when I decide what I'm going to do next. But right now, I'm just kind of enjoying my time doing some freelance work and hanging out with Megan.
Selfishly, it's been great timing for me because it's right after we started the podcast, Becca had all this free time to make Noona business amazing.
And by free time, we mean I'm staying at home with 3 kids.
I mean, oh yeah.
I stay up late doing it.
Oh yeah, the kids. As if she didn't already have enough jobs. She's also the mother of 3. It's little kids too, and she's never faced. She's always, I can barely keep up with my cat.
Well, your cat's very high maintenance, Megan.
He is. He's wonderful.
All right, next question that came in. How do you reconcile watching these overtly sexist male leads who often hold an enormous amount of power, situational and economic, over their female romantic interests without getting too thrown out of the dynamic? It definitely has to be a bit of a cultural fantasy, considering how much of it is employed in K-dramas. But why can't the hot rich guy dude also not be a jerk 97% of the time? It can be well done, but sometimes I wonder if it's more due to the natural calm of the actor than the actual thought given by the writers. So this question is more or less why are we all drawn to these K-dramas where the male lead 99% of the time is super rich, super obnoxious, and a jerk to the female
In real
lead.
life, we would hate this person.
I would hate this person.
And this question totally, got me so shaken up because I feel like I think about this all the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a good answer. Other than kind of revisiting some of my... Do I like the jerk rich guy? Unfortunately, I do. And I keep going back to it. But I feel like overall, I tend to be drawn to shows with a not that lead. So I guess... And I wrote this really long, rambling response to this email because I think it's such a fascinating question, and I feel like I could write a thesis on it if you gave me enough time.
By the way.
Yeah,
great email.
Really good points. But I feel like there's this, in all culture, just pop culture in general, we have this ingrained thing of I can change him.
Yes.
That's such a fantasy, and I think it's kind of been forced on women for a long time. This like Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
He's a literal monster. But I can change
figuratively
him.
And literally.
When you put me and his wife, he becomes a really nice, very hairy guy. He's not a monster anymore, and that's the magic. A love for a woman is so intense and powerful, it can make you a better man. Bad advice.
Young women listening. Any single women listening.
Advice.
That's terrible advice.
Is it impossible? No.
Right.
But look, guys, in real life, there are super nice men out there or women, whichever you're looking for.
Yeah.
You don't have to be with someone who sucks.
Right.
Just like hoping you can make them better.
So I actually, when we got this email, instantly just went to, well, it's the payoff. It's the payoff at the end that you're waiting for.
Like love conquers all.
Love can conquer all. It can make this terrible human being a great person. But the more I thought about it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, she's so right. Because if, for example, Master Son, Soji Sub, if he was poor, if he was a poor guy
no one would like him,
who was homeless or living with his mother down the street, even the lead actress would not be attracted to him. So you're right. It's one of those situations where it's either the male lead where you have to have something going for you, which is money and power, and then your personality is awful, or you're the second male lead, which is normally you have nothing going for you, but you are the nicest guy in the world.
Yes, who absolutely should be chosen.
Yes.
Which someday we have to do a whole podcast on second lead syndrome, because I have it bad, and I have so many thoughts on the second lead thing, like the trope, the way it's used, how upsetting it can be when it's so obviously clear that this character should have gone with
better.
Yes. But I also think I also think that all this plays into this other really, really negative stereotype in pop culture of like the manic pixie dream girl.
Yes.
Where it's like this quirky, goofy girl who's like, it's such a specific character who's gonna change the guy. Like, I don't know. It does fall into these pits a lot where you're just like, I know what you're doing, and it is kind of cheap. That said, I still love them. I can't. I guess the fact that we're conscious of it, we're not basing how our lives should be. I think that's the thing.
We're realistic.
Yes.
We know we love it because it's a drama. It's not real life.
Right.
In real life, I would not go for the rich jerk.
Right. And
I don't think
I've ever met one.
I really don't think I would.
I'm trying to think of the richest person I've ever met, and I can't think of anybody. I haven't really met
thinking now.
Maybe Becca is the richest person I've ever met.
But like now I'm married, so I don't meet a guy and think of a romantic prospect. I just am like, oh, he's rich and a jerk. Like it never crosses my mind to be a romantic partner.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I've just been really fortunate, and the guys that I've dated have all been very sweet people and very kind and like good partners.
Right.
So I don't know what it's like to be in a hate relationship.
Another thing that I wrote down is it's that whole tsundere attitude of...
Which I love.
Yes, I am addicted to it of they act so cold on the outside, but they only do nice things for the female lead or whoever it is.
And that's it too, is it's like, well, we excuse the behavior because he's broken.
Right.
Like there's always that reason where like, well, he had to survive this. Like his mother's trying to ruin his life. Well, that sucks. You can't be mad at him. But and that's also not a good excuse.
Because in real life, again, you would be like, go to therapy.
Yeah,
and get some help.
We're all
broken,
being a jerk, and we can still function without being monsters.
Right.
I don't know. It's such a good question. It's such an interesting question, and it's something I do think about. Every now and then, a character will do something. I'm just like, no. My like feminist alarm goes off, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Don't appreciate this.
We also, our favorite Twitter girl follower. I hate that I don't know your name, Twitter girl. Twitter girl.
She sounds like a superhero.
I know. Send us a recommendation of what to call you. Actually, speaking of that, Twitter girl, I should make an illustration of her being a superhero.
That's brilliant.
Maybe that's what I'll do.
Twitter girl.
To
the rescue.
I love it. But she had mentioned once before that there are times in like Boys Over Flowers, for instance, or Secret Garden, where the male lead does something to her that is so unforgivable that no matter what, she just can't get over it. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Like,
and that's probably the way you should be.
Yes.
I mean, like, honestly, we and part of what our friend who emailed us said was like, is it the actors that we let get away with it? And I do think that's part of it.
I mean,
because
throw a handsome face on anything and they're going to get away with more than if they weren't.
And that's
handsome.
just real life, unfortunately. But just ask my brother.
The filmmaker who just won a big award.
His film just won
for his latest film. Can you say it really quick what it is? It's a big deal.
I don't know the actual name of the award, but it was like in a best short films category in a I think it's called In and Out Fest.
And I think it is In-N-Out Fest.
In-N-Out Fest. And
it's amazing.
Yeah, he just found out. It's
such a
amazing.
big award.
I will also say we make fun of him a lot on this podcast, and we're like, it doesn't matter. He's never listening. But much like V, he really is listening. Because I called him a few weeks ago, like last week, and he was like, oh, you just interrupted me listening to your podcast. And I was like, you're lying. And he goes, no, I listened to your Boys Over Flowers Part 2 and just kept going. He couldn't bluff that well. He doesn't know what Boys Over Flowers is. He really listened. So we got to be careful what we say about him.
Nate.
But basically,
Nate, honestly, I love your film.
It's great.
It's a great film.
But you have to admit you get away with a lot because you're
handsome.
Your whole thing going on.
Even when you went blonde, Nate. I'm telling you, Megan sent me, her brother dyed his hair blonde, and he's a brunette guy.
Yeah.
And Megan was like, I don't know what he did with his hair. I'm unsure how I feel. And I was like, ooh, even then, Nate, you are a handsome guy.
Oh, right. Enough. He's fine.
So anyway, to get back to the subject,
yeah.
When you're handsome, you get away with a lot.
You do. And like she mentioned specific actors, like Gong Yoo was one of them. And
my favorite sentence in that email. I know I give Gong Yoo a ton of leeway for things like this. So Adam, as a blanket actor who gets too much of a leash while playing terrible characters.
She's right.
You could not have said that better.
She's right. Because we did a list of our top 10 dramas, and Coffee Prince stayed on mine. I went through a whole bunch. And even in that one, where he isn't the worst character I've ever met, in real life, if I worked for that guy, hell no. Yeah. He is so terrible.
Yeah.
And just mean. He's mean a lot of the time, but it's Gong Yoo. So you know he's really great on the inside. He's got that heart of gold.
Because they're rich, so many of these characters get a pass because it's like, well, they've always been taken care of.
They don't know any better.
They don't know the way of the world. Shame on them.
It's like that affluenza teen kid.
Yeah. So, again, where it's like, okay, well, the female lead has struggled her entire life to make ends meet, but we're not giving her a pass.
And can't catch a break no matter what she does.
You're right.
Is sewing up stuffed animals to make extra money.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a great question. You've had Megan and I thinking about it for days now.
It truly bothers me. And I wish that I was more, I wish I knew why I was okay with it. Because, I don't think I would be in a lot of other contexts. Even if I saw a movie in the theater and that character showed up, I'd be like, ugh, he's slimy and makes me feel gross. I don't know.
Great question.
Very good.
If anybody has more comments or thoughts on why...
Yeah, weigh in, because...
Why we're so drawn to these people when we know deep down they're terrible? Psychoanalyze us, please.
What's wrong with us?
I know. What's wrong with me?
Why are we broken?
All right, quick break before we go to the next listener question.
Okay.
Let's do another... Somebody asked us a personal question. Okay. Megan, draw one of the slips of paper in front of you and pick out a personal question.
Okay, here we go.
What you got?
It's so cool you won an Emmy. What is it for? Legally required to tell you it's a Midwest Regional Emmy. It was for...
But I've held it. It is a real...
It's very heavy.
Heavy statue Emmy. It's very cool.
It was very cool. And it's sort of the scenario where... This is literally the only example I can ever think of. But it's like if Mark Wahlberg were to win an Emmy for the show Entourage... He did very little to contribute to it, but he gets to take all the glory. It's a lot like that. It was for Best Weekend Newscast. It was years ago. But basically, I was working on this Sunday newscast when we had a really crazy blizzard in our area. And so we had amazing reporters. Our anchors were amazing. Our coverage, everybody who worked on it was so good. And I just kind of got to reap the benefits because I'm the producer. She's lying.
All right, stop talking now. That story is one of my favorites because when she says we kind of had a blizzard, it was a straight up nasty blizzard. A tree fell on her car.
Yeah, it was bad.
Somebody had to come and pick her up to get to work. She wasn't supposed to work the weekend. She got stuck working it.
I literally asked, there's a tree on my car. Can I not come in? And they were like,
no, you have to
come in.
And I remember we were snowed in at my house, and you were texting me, I have to go to work, and I was thinking, how can she even get there? Because you live farther away from it than I do.
Yeah.
And I could not have gotten to your job.
For anybody who lives so we live in the Midwest. If you live in a comparable climate, which is most places, I feel like.
Right.
We've seen a lot of snowstorms in our day. This was the worst snowstorm I've ever... I can't believe it happened still sometimes. You couldn't get through the roads. You couldn't get anywhere.
I don't know how you got home that night.
Truly, a guy, one of the anchors had to take me in his like gigantic truck that has a plow on the end of it.
Oh my gosh.
He couldn't even. I live on a hill. He couldn't even get up the hill. He had to drop me at the bottom of the hill, and I had to walk. It was. I feel like we have a high tolerance for snow. This was awful.
It was bad.
So it really was one of those things where it was like, it's why I'm proud to work in news, because it was important that we were on air and telling people what was going on.
And to be safe. And
to be safe and to stay out, stay off the roads. But that's, again, one of the funny things, funny in air quotes, about working in news is being like, it's snowing out. Don't go outside. While we have a reporter standing in the snow telling you not to go outside.
Also, they called you in to go outside.
Yeah, and they were like, you have to go outside and come
Plus, the other cool thing about Megan's Emmy, which I love, is you were up against some huge markets.
For whatever reason, this category, instead of being up against markets the same size as us, we did go up against like St. Louis and Kansas City, and
it was a Ferguson thing, wasn't it?
It was
a big event.
Again, we mentioned that I didn't go to the Emmys because I didn't think there was any chance that I could win. And I really didn't think there was. The coverage that we were competing with was incredible coverage.
Yeah. So
and really important coverage, too. So
Man.
It was exciting. It really was. I joke about it, but I don't take it for granted or lightly. I'm happy I got to be a part of it.
It was very cool. All right, I'm drawing one of mine. Which one? 1 or 2? What do you think?
2.
2. All right, my question... Becca. Oh, Lord. You mentioned you run in one of your podcasts. Do you ever do races? Well,
Becca's an athletic type person.
I used to do races, but now I have 3 small children. So the only
Life is a race.
The only thing I race to do is like catch vomit with my hands before it hits the carpet. I used to do races. I guess that's the answer. I used to do like half marathons. I've never done a full marathon. I've done a bunch of half marathons.
What's a half?
13.1 miles.
Okay.
I did ultra marathons. I ran for 24 hours twice.
Sorry, what?
I've done 2 24-hour runs.
You
have not seen my trophy. It's in my office.
What even is that? A 24-hour
You go to
run?
a location, and for 24 hours, you just run along a path, and they tell you how far you get at the end, and you only get a trophy if you go so far. So I only got a trophy once. I had to run 100K, which is 62 miles in 24 hours, and I did it.
Do you get breaks?
You can break. By the end, I was crawling. I'm not even joking when I say that. I was on the ground crawling because I wanted that trophy. So
wow.
I did 62 miles. The next year I did it again. I only got 59 miles, and I did not get a trophy.
And you had to get how many?
62.
You were that close?
I was that close.
They should have given you one.
Nope, they won't do that. So
that stinks.
Anyway, yeah, thank you for that
do you
question.
ever think you would do them again?
Yeah, I think after the season, so again, in this season of my life that I'm in, I have little kids and I'm busy, but I think at the end of the day, once the season passes, I will absolutely do it again.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I will cheer you on.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I will not participate. That sounds like the worst time.
All right, so next question that we got. I really enjoyed your podcast and not getting BTS tickets. Well, thank you. I hope you mean that in a way of like you're kind of depressed too. And your follow-ups in subsequent episodes. Are you guys going to wait until the last minute to get tickets? What do you recommend for fans? All right, guys. How do we break this to our audience?
I feel like they'll be happy for us.
Okay, so I finally broke down and surprised Megan and bought tickets for the BTS concert.
Another reason why I feel like the inadequate member of this relationship.
I do feel the need to say, though, I got them as not verified. I'm sorry. These were platinum tickets on Ticketmaster. So they were extremely expensive. I am not proud of how much money I spent on them, but at least I knew that the additional profits were going back to BTS, or at least part of it. I could not just go to a scalper and buy tickets. I would feel so ugly doing that. So that's the way we did it. I'm not saying there's any right or wrong way to get tickets to BTS.
It's sort of
we wanted to go both nights. Trust me, I could not afford both nights at the prices I paid. So we did get tickets. We're pretty excited to go to. We're going on night 2 in Chicago.
I'm still in disbelief, honestly.
Yeah, we got some pretty sweet seats. But again, I paid an arm and a leg for them, and at this point in my life, I'm able to do that. I'm happy to do that for Megan and myself. I'm really sad for fans that don't have that option.
And now I have to figure out how to pay Becca back over the rest of my life.
It's not a big deal. I promise.
Is, she's an angel.
But as far as your second question on what do you recommend for fans? So I was doing a lot of research. I've talked to a lot of people who got tickets for when they came to America last year. And almost everybody said if you can be in the same city the day of and wait until the day of the show, ticket prices will drop to face value. I know that's a terrible option, especially if you really, really want tickets. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm almost hoping, I haven't even talked to you about this.
No.
I'm almost hoping we'll go Tuesday night. We'll go to Chicago Tuesday.
And there'll be something available.
And if there's something available at face value, we just buy them. I say we go both nights.
Yeah. I still feel so angry that we even have to have this conversation.
I know. It's like frustrating.
Even after all this time, I feel like I just re-listened to. Actually, I listened to the one right after we didn't get tickets. Let's do it right after we recorded it, and then I re-listened to it, and it was hard to listen to again for me because I'm still so upset. I feel like it's not getting easier to swallow.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is London tickets, European tickets went on sale this week.
Oh my God, yeah.
And this is crazy. So if you guys go to our YouTube page, which if you just search for Noona Business on YouTube, you'll find it. For some reason, I don't know who must have found the video or tweeted it, we got 7,000 views in like the last 2 days.
So the same exact thing happened in Europe.
The same exact thing happened. All these people are commenting. I actually, one person saw our video and started a Twitter hashtag that slowly started trending.
Unreal.
About how armies are not for sale. And then they changed it to, I think just we're not for sale.
For resale.
We're not for resale. And I've had 3 different people contact me and they're hoping to make like, not videos on YouTube, but like documentaries about this system.
Which is so interesting.
I've given them all the research that I have. I've given them my notes from the phone calls I've had. I've given them access to the recorded phone calls that I had with the ticket brokers. It's really sad, guys. And again, I don't know what the answer is at the end of the day, but honestly, it broke my heart all over again this week listening to people in Germany is the only one where people seem to be getting tickets like crazy, but everywhere else, London, just everywhere else,
does
people are like,
Germany have laws?
Yeah, but so does London.
They do?
Yeah. London sounds like they have some pretty stringent laws. So
and they still get around them.
They still got around them. I don't know. I just, guys, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I just, honestly,
every time
I've been checking YouTube like religiously for the last 2 days to answer all these comments. I think we got over 100 comments on it. It breaks my heart. I don't know what to tell you. I feel terrible. Honestly, it felt like I was going through it all over again.
It does. It feels so personal still.
Yeah.
Every time I see a comment on, just like that pops up on Instagram where somebody will make an offhanded comment of like, oh, I thought I had another chance, but I didn't get them. It physically hurts.
Yeah, it hurts a lot.
Are we being dramatic? No.
I don't think we are. I don't think we are being dramatic. And again, I've had many follow-up interviews since our initial podcast with various ticket brokers and agencies, and
it's just
the
so
problem
unfair.
It's worse than what I made it sound, and that's what I think is the worst part about it all. So
it's just wrong.
Yeah. So we'll move on. Personal question number 3. Hurry up. Pick your last question.
Mine? Okay.
Yep. We're doing good. Oh boy.
Thank you for whoever asked this. Megan, how are you? Have you recovered from Absgate yet? So, yes. And here's
they're referring to Jungkook showing his ass.
Sorry.
Yes.
If you're confused, Jungkook flashed his abs at the world. And then
has yet to put them away.
And will not put them away. And then at a recent television performance, there's like this move in Fake Love where RM pretends to like grab Jungkook. It's like they're all like fighting a line.
I saw it, and he like ripped his shirt off.
He like ripped all the buttons off of Jungkook's shirt.
Which is so
it's
RM.
Like this little shirt. I know. It's like, how did they knew that was going to happen. They must have known that was going to happen eventually. So this poor little shirt's hanging on by a thread. And here's where this is what I keep coming back to. And you can all call me a liar if you want, but I really believe this to be true. Like I said last time, are the abs great? They are great. But the Jungkook I love is like the like goofy weirdo who drinks banana milk all the time and does funny impressions and has such a beautiful singing voice. Like sits at his computer at night and records covers. So I love the abs, but I feel like I can recover quicker from the flash of the abs
than from the flash of the vocals.
than from like the flash of the heart. That's my answer.
I love that so much. I want to follow up with the listener who sent that question. Followed it up by saying, in the meantime, stay strong, Megan. Drink lots of water. Don't forget to rest well. Eventually, Jungkook's abs will be as non-eventful as Jimin's shoulder reveals or RM's adorable dimples.
You know what?
And then she said, oh, wait, I'm still not over either of those. So good luck, I guess.
And I feel like that was what I was going to say. It's like, I don't want them to be that way. Like, I want it to be special. I want every abs reveal to be as special as the first one. And I feel like maybe it's a little bit of sadness. I feel a little bit of sadness because now that we've seen it,
it's beautiful.
It can never be unseen.
I have to say, speaking of beautiful, the sun is setting right now, and it's hitting Megan in the face.
You
have
too.
This beautiful pink and purple glow on you.
You're like side lit beautifully.
It's beautiful.
I took a picture of Becca. We had dinner before we started podcasting, and I'm going to send it to my boyfriend and be like, date night, which is really mean because tomorrow's his birthday, and I'm not going to be there for it. Oopsie.
But happy birthday, Stubby.
Yeah.
All right. My question.
Your turn.
Oh boy,
guys, it's funny because "Push It" by Salt and Peppa is on the radio.
I was just gonna say,
which just like the BBMAs, BTS and Salt and Peppa. Also, BTS was great, but Salt and Peppa.
Did you guys see Salt and Peppa on the BMAs?
Amazing.
Oh my gosh! I told my husband, I was like, they look younger now, more athletic now. Their singing voices were amazing. I fell in love. I mean, I loved BTS, but I loved Salt and Peppa after the BBMAs.
Kind of stole the show.
It really stole the show, really as good. It should have.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Dang. All right, my question. Between your Big Bang and GOT7 concerts, which was your favorite? First off, how dare you?
Yeah, what a horribly mean question.
I don't know if I could pick because here's the thing. Big Bang, Pop, my proverbial K-pop concert, Jerry. Was that
I
too
just
much?
snorted. I don't even know
too
if
much.
Never.
Sorry, I've had a
never too
24-ounce beer. So, like I said, I'm getting real giggly. So that was a very special experience for me. But GOT7 was, again, you guys, I was newly pregnant with my daughter, sicker than a dog. Still made the trip, and they made me forget all of it.
It was like a very intimate thing.
The venue was so small.
Yeah.
And like all of them pulled up their shirt at some point.
Oh.
We touched them.
We were fed well.
It was... We went to the GOT7 buffet, and they gave us take-to-go containers, which they never do at a buffet.
Oh my God.
It was
We lined
amazing.
our pockets with Ziploc bags.
So, I'm sorry, but I can't answer that question. I just don't know how I would answer
different.
it.
It's like your first love and your love after.
Again,
your
it would be
first
like
love.
a would you rather. Would you rather look Sungri in the eye and know he's staring at you and making a connection? Or would you rather touch all 7 members of GOT7? I don't know. I've done them both. They're both
And
pretty
she can't
effing
pick
amazing,
one.
and I cannot pick one over the other.
I don't think I could either, honestly.
That's a great question.
I honestly don't think I could pick.
Don't hate me. If you really want to know, email me, Becca@unibusiness.com, and maybe I'll break it down more for you. Maybe I'll pick one over the other.
If you do,
but
I want to
only
know.
for you.
I want to know.
Only for you, listener. You and Megan. I'll copy her. So, all right. This is the question we've gotten the most requests on, Megan, and we've been texting all day and debating on how we're going to delicately answer this question. People want to know, since we've said before, we've made fanfic references.
Yeah,
They want recommendations on fanfics.
Okay, guys.
Here's the thing.
So Tumblr is like a whole new world.
In case you didn't catch that, Tumblr, TUMBLR, it is still a social media network.
Oh, yeah.
You should download the app on your phone.
It's climbing in my ranks, too.
And create an account. Make sure it's anonymous if you're going to dive into fanfics.
Mine is not.
Yeah, mine's not either. No shame.
They definitely know who I am. But when we started going to Tumblr, it was because of the pictures. They're like, you can find out so many great photos. And have we argued about it, whether it's GIF or GIF? I once read that it was
GIF.
GIF, okay.
GIF,
yes, I think that's right too. They have really good visual content, But then one of us stumbled along some crazy thing, which was
I want to reiterate, we went for like memes and BTS
memes
jokes
and photos,
and stumbled upon the gloriousness of fanfic.
It started with
writing.
reactions.
Yes.
So here's the thing. The writing on Tumblr ranges, it is a huge range. So you can find everything from like, and basically any group, I think, or probably any famous person, because I mean, isn't this how that 50 Shades of Grey thing started?
Yep.
It was like a Twilight fanfic. So we stumbled upon a BTS reacts, and it's where like a writer will be like, BTS reacts to something like your first kiss,
Right.
or like BTS reacts to you telling them that you like them, and it's like kind of fun and cute, and we were like, okay. And then there are like totally bizarre ones like BTS, like the most specific.
Give
like,
the one you gave earlier. BTS reacts
to
to
you going to clown college. Like I'm not. That sounds like I'm
Literally.
joking. There probably is one.
yes,
Like
a reaction to anything.
like
And
BTS reacts to
basically-
you getting mushrooms on your pizza.
Yes.
Like they're so specific.
Basically, fans will write into these Tumblr writers and say, could you write this reaction? And the Tumblr writers are so talented and so darn creative and so darn kind. They're like, sure, they'll write anything you ask.
Yeah. And
So I pulled one up. Can we read one?
yes.
This was my favorite that Megan sent me this week. This was, well, they're not reactions, but it's the BTS styles.
This is more like a meme almost. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
So, Sukjin. Oh, I just threw this on and walked out the door, but in reality, planned the outfit 2 weeks in advance. Yoongi. I literally just threw this on and walked out the door. Hobie. I'm an Aquarius. Namjoon. Dad on vacation. Jimin. Richest CEO in the country's son. V. Foreign French art student. And Jungkook. Athletic wear for goth.
Who's the writer?
Yeah, let's give her credit. The writer is Love Maze. Lovmaze.
So there's so many funny ones like that, and it's not unlike us doing BTS as birthday party
Whatever.
decorations
Yep.
or whatever. It's like that funny, like we're fans, we like to engage with each other and we like to kind of speculate on what they're like in real life. Okay, that's fine. Where it gets a little hairy,
murky. The waters
Yes.
get murky here.
and I don't want this to come across as us being judgmental about fan
No,
fiction,
because we read them and enjoy them.
and honestly,
and
if
share
I
them.
was productive, I would write one because
Yeah.
it seems like it's really fun. But basically, they use, like, specifically, we'll talk about BTS, but there's like tons of bands. They'll use BTS as the models for characters. So if you have a specific member you love, so like, say you're a Jin fan, you want to read a story where Jin is the main, you and Jin are the main characters. You can do that. They're all over Tumblr. I guess the reason where we're like, oh, I feel kind of weird being like, you should do this, is because like we're talking about real people, but obviously it's not. You have to just like not take it super seriously, I think.
So it's, again, these writers, in some cases, will write chapters.
Oh, what chapter were you on in yours last
Okay,
night?
so there's this fanfic I'm reading. I will just say it. It's called Sweeter Than Sweet. It is a BTS fanfic. So all of the members are represented in this fanfiction. I am on chapter 67, guys, and these chapters are like 4 to 18,000 words a piece. They're huge. And this writer recently mentioned she can see this going to chapter 90.
Wow.
So you are talking like the trilogy of the Twilight books.
This is basically the Lord
And
of the
she's
Rings.
just putting it out there for people to read. Now, again, you have to keep in mind, she's using BTS as characters. Their traits are very similar, whatever. But when you're reading the story, this is why we feel weird giving recommendations, because we don't know people personally. You have to remember that this is not BTS.
No.
This is her projecting what she feels like they would be like in this situation. So Sweeter Than Sweet is a vampire.
Right, so obviously.
fan fiction. It's not reality. And it's also extremely not suitable for work.
Yeah.
It's very adult oriented, I guess. But my point is, there's everything. There are funny ones, there are not funny ones.
Well,
the
and
big thing here is, I don't want people to think, again, when people that read fan fictions, that people are like sexualizing the members, which
Right.
maybe they are. To me, it's more of like an art form. It's like, this writer is so talented. The story has meaning and character development, and she has thought this through. It's great.
Some of these stories are so well written. I like can't get them out of my head.
Yeah.
Like
I
this week.
think
I mean,
about them
why
often.
would Becca be at chapter 67 if it wasn't good writing?
Right.
And there's one that I've read. There's one I've read like 2 or 3 times, and it's not. Oh, this was the other thing, guys. If it doesn't say complete,
don't read it.
Oh my God.
See, I wish I would have saw that with Sweeter and Sweet, because the problem is another girl, and if you email me, I will give you, if you email me directly, again, it's Becca@uniabusiness.com, I will send you some recommendations of writers that I love, and you can go explore their works on your own. But there's one writer in particular that I don't feel comfortable mentioning her name, but she's so good at writing, but she's so bad at finishing her pieces. And it will break your heart. You'll get to chapter 11, and then she'll say, like, well, I got too much negative content or comments.
Feedback.
I'm not going to continue the story. And it breaks your heart.
Oh my God. There are some, like, there's this one, again, I keep talking about it. If she doesn't finish it, I don't know what I'll do. Because... And we're being a little cagey because a lot of this does contain mature content, and it does get pretty explicit. Like,
some of them are very explicit.
I would consider myself pretty...
Even the Sweeter Than Sweet, there were a few chapters where I just skipped them because I'm like, oh, it's so explicit. I'm not comfortable. I feel like I'm being a peeping Tom here in somebody's very intimate relationship.
And for the most part, like, the explicit stuff is just, like, fun,
right?
I would say.
For the most part, it's fun.
And again, don't take it too seriously. But also, again, whenever Becca and I are like, should we be reading this? Is this weird? I'm like, dudes look at porn all the time.
Exactly.
How come we can't?
Exactly.
But
Go ahead.
Being said again, I feel like if it was just sexual situations, I wouldn't even be able to come back to them because it just gets very like the same thing over and over.
Right.
But some of these storylines are so incredible, and some of these writers are so funny, and they're so good at creating characters around this like basic person that they've. So like again, you have Jin. There are things we think we all know about him. They take those traits, but then they make him such a rounded, complete, interesting character, and you're like, this is fascinating. And it's really, really easy to separate it from real life because it becomes a completely different character who looks like a person that exists in real life.
Right. And the other thing that I love is, so like with Jin, there are situations where they will write BTS members as BTS.
Yeah.
But then the majority of these fanfics are BTS members as whatever. Vampires.
Yeah, different jobs.
Yeah,
or like
mafia. I'm trying to think of other ones.
There's one where Jungkook's a rock climbing instructor. That's a good one. And there's probably lots where he's a rock climbing instructor. It seems like a job he'd be great at.
So if you're interested and you don't want to wait for us to give you recommendations, again, email us.
It's not hard to find them either because
I know.
like we
just go to Tumblr and search for BTS
reactions.
Just start BTS reactions, and then click on the writer and go to their master list, and then you can start reading from
If there's a member that you like, you can search their name, and then there's options along the bottom. You can hit text, and it'll take you to like specifically the stories.
Right.
So I know that's how I found a lot of them. Is I just put in like whatever member I'm interested in. God, we have so many like ethical questions about this, but you know what? It's really fun, and some of them are so good. And I haven't read a book. It's like extending something that you love. It completes the obsession because then you're like not just like here's a musician that I love and I have all this content on them. Now here's original creative content
from fans
that is never ending.
Yeah,
where it's like I couldn't when I was obsessed with NSYNC in junior high. I couldn't go to Barnes and Noble and found a book about Justin Timberlake being my football coach. Like I would have loved that.
It's so great, and it is. It's just again, please look at it. If you have an obsessive personality, they may not be for you. I'm just saying, like, look at it from a very healthy perspective of this is somebody's writing. It's somebody's creative work. It's
people
art.
who work really hard.
If there is explicit material and that's not for you, move on. There's other stories that do not involve it.
They put a rating on it so that you know what you're in for. If there's something that, like, is a trigger for you or it bothers you, I almost always say, like, just so you know, this is included. And kudos to the people who write that stuff for putting themselves out there. They don't get paid, but they well, actually, I don't know. I don't know how social media works.
I don't think they get paid.
I don't know if at some point
it's amazing.
Yeah, but they do this just because they're creative and interesting and motivated. And I'm like, I couldn't be prouder to support people like that who are willing to put their work out there.
Right, exactly.
Even if sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel guilty.
Right. I do. I feel guilty often.
Yeah.
Actually, there's one writer in particular who had something up once about buy me a coffee, and I totally donated to her.
Did you?
I sent in $5 because I think I've read all of her works.
I think that's great. Cool, though. And that's the thing, too, is like, I don't know about you, but I'm not super savvy on Tumblr yet. So, like, I have my page, but that I started for, like, a grad school project. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to really interact with people. And there's one writer in particular I talk about all the time. Again, if you want specific recommendations without, like, calling people out on air here, you can email us. But I want to tell her all the time how incredible I think she is, but I just like don't know how to do it.
Right.
You know?
Maybe someday later.
I'm like a legit fan of this woman.
Now that we're 21,
now that we're
episode
legal
21,
adults,
maybe by the time we turn 30, we'll can
be
reach
ready.
out to these Tumblr writers.
I'll be ready
and
to
be
tell
like,
her.
we're going to do a podcast about specific writers. Can we mention your page? Because
Yeah.
again, if they're not comfortable with it, we don't want to mention it without their permission. But
you can find a lot of really talented people on Tumblr.
I love it.
You can find some also
email
just
us.
hilariously
Again,
crazy.
I think we got 4, but I may have missed one person. So if you have emailed us, tweeted us, left a comment on YouTube or Facebook,
It's also sorry.
like please email us directly after this podcast, because we compiled all these questions, but now I can't remember who specifically was asking, and the last thing I want to do is send this to somebody who did not ask for it.
And it's hard to make recommendations on this because I don't know what you're like into.
What your thing is.
Yeah, like where you draw your line.
Yeah, like how mature do you want it?
Yeah, because although I'll say, there were things that we would see in descriptions when we first started reading fanfics where we're like,
That's
no
a hard
way.
no.
And now we're like, can I just search that? I just want to see if I can find just the...
I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if there's more of that? I mean, what would we search?
Just for research purposes, because I'm curious about this. So, yeah.
It does open up a whole new world.
I feel like it's changed my life a little bit, but in a good way.
In a great way. Definitely. So, all right. Last break here. Somebody did ask us, could you guys do 2 truths and a lie? The game 2 Truths and a Lie. That's all she asked for. Or, that's all he asked for.
This is so hard.
So, I'm guessing you want us to give you 2 truths and a lie today, and then we'll reveal the right answer
You guys can
next
guess.
week, maybe? I'm not really sure. There was no other instruction other than that, so I had Megan prepare.
If we do it wrong, just let us know and we'll do it right
Yeah.
next time. But
would
we're
love
going to
that.
do it this way for now, but if it's wrong, let us know.
All right, so Megan, you go first. 2 truths and a lie. What you got?
So
2 of these will be true. You guys have to let us know which one you think is a lie. Let's hear it.
Sorry in advance. First, I'm allergic to guinea pigs.
Oh.
Second,
Am I going to learn stuff about you?
you might. I've been called out by 3 different wedding DJs for eating cake on the dance floor. 3, I once injured myself on the Buzz Lightyear ride at Disneyland and had to go to Disney Hospital.
So I know one of those for sure. The other 2, I think I know which one is right for you.
I don't know which one you know.
As soon as we hit off,
I'll tell you.
I think I'm going to...
You have to guess.
I'm
and then
going to
I'll
have
tell
to
if you're
guess
right or
for you
not.
on that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, my 2 truths and a lie. I've mentioned before that I'm a lifeguard. I've saved 4 people from drowning in my life. Another one. I've worked for Goldie Hawn and her family in my lifetime.
Oh.
And my last one, I've gone bungee jumping twice. Those are my 2 truths and a lie. Megan, how well do you think you know me?
I think I know, but I'm questioning myself right now.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I know, but I'm questioning.
I can't wait to see what you have to say. So if you have any input, feel free to let us know.
That was fun.
All right, last question that we got, and then we're going to play one more game and call it a night.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I'll keep my water. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, somebody did ask us, somebody had said that we had suggested Master Sun, and she had never heard of it before, and that she was going to start watching it. So then somebody else had asked, what are your top 10 dramas, just in case those of us who feel like we've been through all of them have not seen some?
I hope that there are some on the list that are new to people because,
That would be great.
yeah.
I would love to have new ones if anybody has one that they want to.
I have one on my list that you haven't watched that you need to watch.
All right, well, let's hear it, Megan.
Okay.
We don't have to give insight if you don't want to. Just real quick.
Well,
what's your top 10?
the first 3, if you've listened to our top 3 dramas, you already know. My top 3 are Greatest Love, Reply 1988, and Shopping King Louie. Those still stand. Then I have Secret Love Affair, which was my runner-up. So I've talked about why I love those.
Mm-hmm.
I've also told you guys previously I really love Let's Eat 2. So I put that on my list.
Really?
I loved it. I really loved it. And that's partially because the male and female lead are so excellent. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of like different than your average K-drama leads. So then...
Also, I find it very funny that Final Countdown is on right now.
It is really funny. Oh my God.
Final Countdown just came on at the bar where we're going through our final
doing
countdown.
This radio knows us. It was playing Salt and
Megan's
Pepper. We're
getting
talking about
passionate,
BBMA.
like, using hand gestures, and all I'm hearing is
Thinking about Arrested Development. That's all I'm thinking about now.
All right, keep it up.
So then I have Best Hit, which I've also talked about how much I love that. Then the last 4 were kind of hard because I feel like I had to just sort of rely on memory, and I could be mistaken, but I put Oh My Ghostess, Coffee Prince, Sweet Stranger in Me made it for me. Yeah, if you guys, that one was like maybe a little less popular or a little less buzzed about.
It was nice. I liked it.
It made me really happy. I really loved that.
Wow, that guy was revving.
Proving a point. Welcome to Iowa.
He was revving his truck engine for this podcast.
It's really great characters, and it was just like a sweet, lovely story. I really liked it. And then my last one was one I watched recently that I think I've mentioned that I think you should watch, and it is Because It Is My First Life.
Oh,
I really loved that one.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me how much you liked that one.
Yeah, that one, I kind of put off watching it because the description didn't really get me going. But I'm so glad I watched it, and I feel like it also is the characters are at the same place kind of in life that I am. Mm-hmm. So it was one that I really identified with, and I liked it a lot.
Who is in that one?
Jung So Min is the lead female. I'm blanking on the guy's name, but he is fantastic. His character is really...
Have I seen him in something before?
I don't think so. He was kind of like out of the drama scene for a few years. And the character, it's funny, we were talking about like rich jerks. He plays a jerk, but it's almost like he's a jerk because he has no social skills, not because he's rich.
Oh,
he's
okay.
like, God, I'm so sorry to make this comparison because my dad watches a show all day, every day, but it's almost like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory where he's like...
Megan, how dare you?
I know, I'm sorry. Drives me nuts. My mom hates it so much. I'm trying to find my phone to look up the actor, and I can't find my phone.
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
But it's great. I highly recommend it.
All right. I'm going to go through mine. But now you have me questioning when we did our top 3 podcast. I don't remember all of them that I picked.
I think I can remember yours.
All right. Do you remember them?
I
know
so.
It's 1% of something.
You did 1%
Definitely
of something.
on my list.
You did My Love from the Star.
My Love from Another Star.
And
Definitely my list.
You did...
Was it Secret Love? No, that's what you guessed, and I said it wasn't right. I think I said Coffee Prince, didn't I?
No, you didn't. I guessed Coffee Prince.
Man.
You said, hang on, I can find it really
I was
fast.
trying to pull it up, and I couldn't find it. All right, so I'm going to go through the list that I have, and it's probably on there anyway. So 1% of something. You guys, I just watched that last night going to bed again. I cannot get enough of Ha-seok Jin. I just think he's the most handsome guy in the world. Great. And a listener emailed me and said that he's the star of Let's Drink. Is that right?
Say again.
He's in Let's Drink?
Yeah, he's the lead in Let's Drink, which I still haven't watched.
So I'm starting that tonight. Thank you.
Another Oh Hey Young.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
So 1% of something was one. Definitely another Oh Hey Young. Eric Moon. I looked it up. It is Moon. You were right.
Oh, it is? I had no idea.
Oh, my gosh. That's all I have to say. Eric Moon. Thank you very much. My Love from Another Star. Definitely one of them. Fated to Love You.
That's a great one.
I
guess
Fated to
I
Love You.
think I
This
guessed
is the
that one.
Korean version. There is a Taiwanese version that I tried to watch. I just couldn't get
I haven't
into
watched that
it.
one yet.
But I think it's because I loved the original one so much.
The guy in that, Ethan Ruan, I think is his name,
Yeah.
was in that My Queen show, which was the show
Which
that
you
got me
loved.
back into dramas.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Kill Me, Heal Me. Not a drama for Megan.
I totally appreciate it, but
That was number 5
I couldn't finish it.
on my list. All right, guys. This is where I'm going to get a little murky here. Shopping King Louis.
It's on my list.
It's
in my
love
top
it
10
so much. Also, Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-ju.
Oh, good one.
I can't help it. I love that drama.
Yeah.
To like the fiber of my being.
It's
I
great.
feel like they're not the stereotypical characters. So if you haven't watched that one,
And those
that might be one to
performances
go
were
check out.
outstanding also.
Were so good.
Yeah.
Coffee Prince. I feel like everybody has seen that one. All right, this is the one I hate recommending because you can't find it. Hello, My Teacher. It stars Gong Hyo-jin and Gong Yoo when they were like brand new.
Just starting
They
out.
were just starting out. I actually bought it on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it was a bootleg copy. I don't know how I got it. I've shared it with Megan.
Worked out.
We're going to send it to our friend Irene next, but I love that show. I don't know if it's because I love those two people so much.
It's very like the storylines are very emotional and meaningful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And then I also had Master Son. Love that show. And then Secret Love with Jisung.
So if we had a Venn diagram, it would be like Becca's dramas, Megan's dramas, and in the center where it overlaps, it'd be Coffee Prince and Shopping King Louie.
And that's it.
That's it. Just like figure out what it is about those two shows.
That's
our overlap.
Special year.
Yeah.
All
well,
right.
maybe we can post those somewhere. I don't know.
We need to, we'll make a list of our top 10. So if you haven't seen any of those are ones that we all highly recommend. But again,
loved 'em.
some of them on my list are ones that Megan will not watch. They're just too dramatic for her. So keep that in mind. I mean, we all have different tastes, but maybe you get some recommendations.
That's the beauty of it.
All right, one last thing real quick, and then I'm going to enjoy my beautiful night with Megan for one more minute
Date
here.
night.
Somebody recommended our good friend from Germany, I believe.
Ooh.
Meryl Peril from YouTube.
Oh,
Isn't she from Germany?
I don't know.
I think she's the one who run our goodie bag.
Oh, that's amazing.
But again, all the names.
Was this her idea?
Yeah. All the names on social media are different, and I often confuse. So if you're listening, our good friend from Germany, Marley, but there's also this girl in Australia, and you both have very similar names, and I get you confused a lot. So I'm hoping of giving credit to the right person. So it's either our Australia friend or our Germany friend suggested that we do BTS. This is the best game ever.
This is so funny.
BTS as Subway sandwiches.
I gotta be honest with you. This was super easy for me. Like, I've never just like written them out like this before in my life, and they just came right out of my pen.
I can't wait because I told Megan I didn't want it to be redundant because there are only so many Subway sandwiches.
There really are not a lot.
So Megan is going to do the Subway sandwiches, and I am going to add in the side dish or the drink that would go with that sandwich for each member.
And we have not talked about our answers.
We haven't talked about this at all.
So
I'm pretty excited to dig into this.
Each member will be a whole meal.
All right. They're already a whole meal. All right, Jin, go for it.
This one was so easy. I said he'd be the cold cut trio. Because he's full of baloney.
I feel so weird doing this game in a public place because the patio, since we've gotten here, we were the only ones, and now it's getting later and more people are out here, and I feel like people are going to stare at us.
We're all in at this
side
point.
Conversations happening, and
Which
I'm
we're
laughing
trying
like
really
a
hard
maniac.
not to listen to, but they're dramatic, guys. It's like a K-drama going on behind me here. I'm not kidding. It's like intense stuff. And not the kind I like, the really dramatic one.
Dramatic ones. I just had that Jin would be the adult who gets like a kid's milk with his meal.
It's like a drinkable yogurt.
Where it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting that?
He's like, because I'm Jin. I can do whatever I want.
I want to eat. Yeah. I want to eat. Definitely a drinkable yogurt.
Yeah.
More food that he can consume in a weird way.
Which is why he is the best.
I love that very much. All right, Sugar.
I said he wouldn't be a Subway sandwich. Basically, if he had to be a Subway sandwich, he'd be like a wrap.
I get it. A wrap.
I didn't even mean to do that. But it just seems like more practical and like, I don't know, just like over the whole Subway thing. I just feel like he wouldn't be one. And it would just be like a really simple wrap.
I love that answer so much. I had that he would be the side apple slices because you only get them because they come with a kid's meal, but no one ever eats them. And they just sit there and judge you for not eating them. But at the same time, they're like, don't you dare touch me. Like, don't you dare eat me.
Don't even look at me.
Yeah, don't even look at me. That's why I'm the apple slices.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I love that.
So he would just be a person going in and ordering apple slices and then not eating them.
Yes.
I love it. All right. What do you got for J-Hope?
So I said he'd be like the Subway Club.
Okay.
But with bacon. Like, does it have bacon? Because I feel like he'd have to have bacon.
He'd have to be extra.
So he's like, yes, exactly. It would be like a very basic sandwich, but then it's J-Hope. So it's got bacon on it.
I like that answer. I had that he just recently in America, I don't know where you're listening, where you're from, they just added all natural energy drinks to the menu.
Did they really?
I had that J-Hope would be the all natural energy
What is
drink.
an all natural energy drink?
Just think
it's like
it's
cane
like,
sugar.
It's like Red Bull, but it's got a friendly label on it,
that
so you
sounds
think
nice.
it's
like
healthy.
happy energy
Like
drink.
a happy energy drink.
Clean
Regardless,
energy.
you're gonna leave with the biggest smile
You're
on your
hyped.
face, whether
You're
you're having a
hyped.
good day or not.
Yes.
So I like that answer. What you got for RM?
I had he would be like a steak and cheese sandwich because it's almost like too nice to get at a Subway. You're like, this sandwich is better than Subway, but it's on the menu. Like it's the next level of Subway sandwich. Like you have your cold meats, but then you can get a steak and cheese sandwich. That's all right.
I feel like I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm laughing too hard at this. It's too nice to get at a Subway.
It's like it's the second tier of Subway sandwiches.
I had that he would just be the dozen cookies for like $2 that you don't even know is an option. And you're just like, I get all of this.
Wait a minute.
For this convenient price?
You're kidding me.
Like, this guy is in this group?
Yeah.
What did we do to deserve this?
So you're telling me he can write music and lyrics. He can rap. He's handsome.
And he looks like that?
He's also a genius? What's next?
I don't understand. And what goes better with a steak and cheese sandwich than a dozen chocolate chip
You've
cookies?
just named my perfect meal. That's all I've ever wanted.
I love that. All right, Jimin.
He's a spicy Italian. The sexiest of the Subway sandwiches. And it's one of those sandwiches where, like, you don't
make
even
it sound like you have ranked them by sexiness.
Yeah, not for this though. Long ago, I did. He's a sandwich that doesn't even need sauce. Like, it's good just the way it is. Throw a little olive oil on it, and you're like, done.
I had that he would be the Subway salad, where you're like, I get all of this goodness without the bad carbs.
You are a Subway commercial right now. All of this for just this?
Without any of those nasty sugary carbs.
So we'd all have bodies just like Jimin.
Right.
Yeah. Where I'm like, give me some more Capicola.
I mean, I like Jimin better with the buns, Megan. I like Jimin better with the buns. Your answer was better than mine.
The buns. Yes.
All right, B.
I had Veggie Delight.
Ooh.
Because it's good for you. It's very pretty.
It starts with V.
It starts with a V. And it's just got all kinds of surprising stuff on it. And it's like, you want peppers, spicy peppers on this? Yeah, I do. It's colorful and great.
It's just every
Crunchy.
sense is fulfilled there with that.
You don't even
Delight.
really miss
Subway. How are you not sponsoring our podcast?
Guys, come on. It was like a home run.
I had that he would just be the bag you get with the kids meal, where it's like, I don't need this, but I'm so happy it comes. Like, I'm so glad it's here.
It's just a bonus at this point.
It's just amazing. What did I do to deserve the happiness that is this little kid's bag?
All you had to do is walk into a Subway. As Kdramas have taught us.
We joke. We do not get paid by Subway.
No.
Nor do we, love Subway.
I don't even know the last time I was at a Subway. It's too hard to park outside the one that's closest to me, so I can't go there.
All right, Jungkook. I think you're going to be very surprised at my answer.
Yeah, you already used up kids' meals.
Yeah, all right.
Meatball sub.
Meatball sub.
Meatball sub.
Why?
Why? Do I need to explain it? It's like the manliest sandwich, but also it's just like little balls. So goofy and silly. Not in a sexual way.
I was thinking, all that meat. Do I need to explain?
Just shoved into some bread. No, it just seems like it's the buffest sandwich.
I had that he would be the flamin' hot Cheetos.
Amen. That's my second best meal.
He would be that thing that you think cannot get any hotter. Cheetos.
And then
they're like,
they release the choreography for Fake Love.
Here we go.
And
the
it's
flamin'
game
hot
over.
version is coming right at you.
That's a perfect combo.
I gotta tell you, again, Meryl Peril, whether you're from Germany or Australia, I need to go home and check. Great recommendation
So
on this
funny.
game.
Yeah.
She gave us another recommendation that we're going to do next week.
Do I know that one?
Yeah, I sent it to you, but
Okay.
We'll talk about it later. But again, if you guys have any recommendations, it doesn't have to be BTS, but any group, any characters in a show as something. So you just send
funny.
it to us, and we will make it happen.
Yeah, and I promise if you've sent us groups or shows that you want us to talk about, we've not forgotten.
No,
we're
we
working
have
on
like
it.
our next 6 podcasts planned out, and we're pretty pumped about them. Next week, actually, I'll give a little teaser. I've been doing a lot of research on the ultimate OSTs, the ultimate soundtracks from our favorite K-dramas. So I've created little clips, and I'm going to play them for Megan, and she's got to try to guess what K-dramas are from.
So hard.
And I invite you all to tune in, keep track, and let us know. It's just the honor system. Let us know on Twitter or Facebook how many you get right, and let's see if you can beat
fair.
Megan.
They're the honor system. They're all going to hear me fail. Like, she's such an idiot. How did she
I'm
not
pretty
know
excited
this?
about this because there's so many great OSTs where I hear music and I think, wow, I want that song so bad.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it. And then you learn about new artists and their music, and it's amazing.
It's so funny because I say, like, I'm really bad at this and I'm not going to remember. But today, there was a video somebody made on Instagram setting BTS to an OST, like them in their school, school uniforms. And I immediately knew it was Boys Over Flowers. And I haven't watched that in ages.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't do as badly as I think.
I think you're going to do a lot better than you think.
We'll
see. That'll be next week's episode. But anyway, Megan, once again, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy 21st podcast.
And thanks, everybody, for listening.
We seriously sat down today at this pub and thought, oh my gosh, we've made it to 20. That's great.
It's like content.
It's just been a fun little thing. Oh, and big news. Our website is up.
Wait, you guys, till you see this thing.
So it's very bare bones. But
It's
go
great,
check it out.
though.
All of
Yeah.
our podcasts are up. We have notes. We have quotes.
I can't wait.
You can find out more about us. We do actually have an email list, and what we're going to start doing is emailing once a week, just like letting you know what's coming up on the podcast. You can email directly instead of. A lot of you have been writing like these amazing, beautiful, long emails, and
They're so awesome.
it makes my heart so happy. So keep them coming. But if you get this email list, you can just reply. It's a lot easier than having to go out of your way. So
And if you're sitting there thinking, like, do I really want to email these strangers I've never met? Just think of me and Becca, like, constantly opening our mail app on our phones and scrolling to refresh it, waiting to see if someone will email us.
Anybody wants to
Because
talk
I'm not
about
kidding.
anything.
I do that like 10 times a day where I'm like, did we get an email? And then when we don't, it's so sad.
Okay, also,
You should
every
do it.
time that my phone dings, I'm like, oh, Megan, it's Megan. It's got to be Megan texting me. And if it is, the first thing I think is, I wonder if somebody emailed us.
Because we'll be like, did you see the email? Did you see the comment? It was amazing.
So you guys are all amazing. Thank you for supporting us. More than supporting us, thank you for giving us a reason to keep getting together and just talking about this, because this is all we like talking about. So
yeah. Which, again, like
for
we said
coming
last
along
time,
the ride.
we'd probably do it anyway, but this way, people are like, oh yeah, take your time, have fun.
You're being productive. Go do that.
Go do that.
We appreciate it.
It gives us
for
a
sure.
chance to be a little creative too, which is fun.
So Megan, you want to take us on out of our 21st episode?
I would love to. As always, you guys can find us on Twitter at Noona Business. You can find us on Facebook at Noona Business. Email us, Becca at NoonaBusiness.com or Megan at NoonaBusiness.com. Please let us know what you're watching, what you want us to talk about, what you're listening to. If you want recommendations, if you have recommendations for us, we want to know.
Excellent. Can't wait to talk to you all next week. It's going to be
I know.
great. Please check out the website too. It's just NoonaBusiness.com.
NoonaBusiness.com.
Let us know what you think, and we'll be adding more to it eventually.
And
but it's pretty basic right now.
You have to do your trademark if this is your first podcast.
Oh, yeah. Megan, look at you.
I listen to this
guys,
podcast more than anyone.
Whether this is your first podcast or your 21st podcast, in which case, cheers. Thank you for listening to Noona Business. Bye.